Welcome to Same Spit, Different Face TV. Well, my opinions is facts, and if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast. And it's free. So don't forget to spit on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification. If you clicked on this video to hear how Jay-Z about to bring down Tony BUZBEE, I need you to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Now, Spit Squad. A Jay-Z private investigator says that Jane Doe admits Jay-Z never raped her. Now, before I read this article, the first thing I will say is that they didn't say anything about Puff not being there. And that's interesting to me because it was struck against Jay-Z with prejudice, but maybe somebody may be able to pick her back up and say, hey, this was really about Diddy, but it would also shoot her credibility. But if you have a bunch of women saying the same thing about Diddy, who knows? But anyway, the article say, Jay-Z is revealing how he found out the Jane Doe accuser allegedly lied about his involvement and how attorney Tony BUZBEE allegedly pushed her to sue anyway. A private investigator named Charlotte Henderson filed an affidavit Wednesday stating she met with Jane Doe on February 21st, 2025 in the anonymous woman's home of Alabama, and during the meeting she claimed BUZBEE pushed me to include Jay-Z in a lawsuit. Henderson says Doe said she did tell BUZBEE Jay was at the party where the alleged occurred, but plainly stated he was not involved. Still, BUZBEE filed a civil suit alleging Jay-Z and Diddy assaulted her. Subsequently, various media outlets exposed multiple inaccuracies in the woman's story, and as we reported, she dismissed her lawsuit last month. She says during the meeting, Doe seemed calm and at ease and never appeared scared or intimidated. Interestingly, Henderson says she was not hired by Jay or his attorneys to perform this investigation. She doesn't say who, if anyone, was paying her. Nah, that's cap. No way you going to do this investigation and you weren't. Who would pay for? I mean, well, I ain't gonna say who would pay because the NFL could have paid her. Anybody could have paid her. But at this point, it would appear that Jay-Z is the one who paid her. And one thing I want to point out, it's a difference between people who people admire and people they don't, people they like and people they don't. Obviously, Jay-Z has proved that he wasn't there and he didn't do this. But in this, the lady is basically alluding to the fact that, you know, the girl is not dropping her claims against Diddy, or the girl is not claiming that Diddy didn't do whatever was alleged. Now the girl is just alleging that Jay-Z didn't do it, although he was there at the party. But if the party was at the different times and the party was supposed to be a party that Jay-Z was never at, even though I know that she tried to stumble back later and say, oh, it was at a different time. It was in 2002 instead of 2000, whatever that may be, right? You got to understand that this is a crazy, crazy, crazy situation right here. And I don't know, man. It just seems weird to me that the lawyer would make it specific that Jay-Z never did it. And also that she would say, yo, the woman was calm. She wasn't intimidated. Because at that point, you may look at a private investigator going over there and say, well, how we know this girl wasn't intimidated into saying that BUZBEE made her do this? Or how we know this woman wasn't paid off to say Jay-Z was there, but he never did anything. It's a couple of things and a couple of ways this can go. But one thing you would have to look at, you would have to see how her lifestyle changed in the next 1 to 3 years. Like, is it a possibility they put some money in her name and she won't be able to have access to that money for 2 years, 3 years? Is it a possibility that they bought her some land? And I'm not saying Jay-Z, I'm just saying in general, the powers that be, whoever they may be. But yeah, this is a crazy occurrence. I just don't like the fact that, you know, they absolving Jay-Z, but trying to make it allude to the fact that Diddy may have still did it when it was the same inconsistencies with the same story as Diddy as the inconsistencies with Jay-Z. But I understand that, you know, if you Jay-Z, you're trying to keep yourself away from this because people been trying to put little stigmas on your name all the time, so you can't really stand next to him like you want to because you don't want people to start digging into you. And not saying he did anything, but just saying who wants to deal with the headache of people trying to accuse and point things out and say this and say that. So Diddy would just have to get his own person and have them go do that investigation. But He's in jail charged criminally, so they would probably try to see that as witness tampering. So it's just ugly out here. That's why you got to get ahead of things like this. If you want more updates on Jay-Z, BUZBEE, and Diddy, I need you to hit the subscribe button. If you want more hip-hop and celebrity updates, hit the subscribe button. Check out my original Chicago hood movie in the end screen, No Time to Play Fair. If you into sneakers, you a sneakerhead, you love seeing the new Jordans, Pumas, whatever it may be, subscribe to Kicking It with Fairplay 2333. If you trying to follow me on my basketball journey, my weightlifting and fitness journey, and also be inspired to get back on your fitness journey, subscribe to Fairplay, Flex, and Fadeaway. Also, any of these pages I just named, you can also find them on TikTok or Instagram.